connect, serve, and grow is what you can expect at the House of Reconciliation. Leadership, community, education, wellness, and participation is part of our plan for your spiritual growth and success. Family and faith is a core value for the House of Reconciliation, working to help people find their purpose. Want to make an impact in the kingdom? Ready to tap into your future? Meet us at the House Sundays with Pastor Reginald Campbell. www.houseofreconciliation.org.
Good morning. We're going to do our church anthem. I am the seed that grows and advances the kingdom for soul winning. This word, bread of life, that I received today, it's not only for me, but to be shared with others, that they may grow in Christ as well as myself for the purpose of successful living. Thank you. You may be seated. We're going to talk to you briefly, and we want to thank those who put together. We don't want to overlook the celebration of MLK's birthday and what he's done for all people, and the freedom and the opportunity that we have. The thing that you have to understand is, with anything that you do, you're always going to have opposition. Opposition is not always from one side or the other, but oftentimes it's for people who have a problem with your progress. And you have to make sure that you maximize your freedom and you maximize your opportunity, not only in life, but in spiritual and economics, as well as for your family, as well as for your children. I said earlier this morning in the broadcast that it is, what will your children have to stand on? They have to have more than your job. These are not the days of sharecropping to where your back is broken down and you pass it on to your child. What will, and I understand the metaphor is that, well, nothing was passed on to me, then that means you should know how important it is to pass something on to the next generation. The Bible says that a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And you have to understand your gift is not going to be like everybody else's gift. And so you have to quit comparing yourself. So we're going to talk in brief. I call it the period of evolution. Our theme for this year is I choose better. And sometimes choosing better is not what I want, but I choose better for my future. And if you choose better for your future, then you, your family, and all of those are your constituents that are with you get a chance to have a better life. Life is not centered around struggle, brokenness, rejection, denial, and hurt. God did not allow you to wake up every morning to be broken up by people. I said earlier, the biggest challenge with people is when people can divide you from who you are. You're made up of three components: body, mind, and spirit. What is not important is your color. Your skill set is beyond what you see in the mirror. Your gifts and your ability is beyond your culture and where you came from and where you didn't get to go. This is why I call it evolution, because I want you to do this. And I think I helped someone this morning when I said this way. And I picked this up on the way down the highway. Have you ever considered how much energy and time is put in to faking it? You actually have to do a whole lot to fake it. I can talk about me because my grandchildren would laugh at me if I put on the male unit. Like, you got hair. If I had your hair, I'd be good. I don't have no hair, and it was cold this morning. That was a problem. Okay, I put on a skull cap and somebody said, "Where you going?" In the cold. Listen, you're going to have to accept who you are, what you are, and build upon what you have. Nobody's going to give you something to build a better you. In fact, you will have an adversary, which means you have enemies, haters. Because, can I do my pose? Because they hate because you getting your guac. Y'all didn't think I knew that word, did you? Look it up. I had to look it up Friday. I didn't know what it was. Like, what's the word that the young people use? I was like, guac? Guacamole? What? Guac? And so I found the common phrase of walk is, there's one that said get your bread and all that. So I had to kind of keep up because listen, I'm old, but I ain't trying to hang with no old people. Old people be going to sleep. If it's the Lord will, I'm going to go to the store. Man, please. So I need young people to hang out with me so I can stay young. So have you ever considered how much energy and time it takes to fake it rather than put that energy and time into building something with substance? This is what I say to men. Your paycheck will not take care of your family because it barely can take care of you. We as men, and I encourage women too, that you have to have something greater than you working for you so when you can't work, it's still working for you. I don't care what it is, a lawn care service. I was talking on the way down the highway, and I'm not this old, but the last time leaded gas, how many of y'all were alive when leaded gas was around? Like I see your frown on your face, you're like, I know he old because there ain't no such thing as no leaded gas. You remember it, don't you? It was in 1920, it was 23 cents a gallon. You could fill your whole car up for $2. Now you can't get a gallon of gas for $2. You see what I'm saying? So your income today will not take care of your situation tomorrow. Because somebody say, well, I got something saved up. What you got saved up is not built. What you have saved up is not inflation proof. The inflation was 7%. So if you were making $1, you were about 20 cents short. You remember Tupac trying to make $1 out of 15 cents? Yeah, I call it Tupac. Yeah, trying to make $1 out of, what you doing, player? Trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, man. That's some good profit if you can do it. What are you building that's sustainable? The theme for this year is simple. I choose better, which means as a male, as a female, you're going to have to grow into innovation. Here's a couple things you got to do. Don't blame your ears for what you hear. Your ears only receive. If you have no spiritual firewall, you will give yourself and lose energy to things that don't build you. See, this is the whole purpose of the church, is that you have a spiritual firewall. Most of you who have a cell phone or a tablet or a laptop, you generally have to have a firewall to protect your privacy, right? You also need to protect your future. And people will trash your mind and put trash in your mind to kill your future. So while you trying to figure out who did it, who said it, what they say, I'm waiting on the video and all of that, other people have gone down the street. So you can't ears and you can't stop hearing it, but what you can do is refuse to process it. I said this earlier. Many people refuse to listen. If you won't listen, you can't learn. If you can't learn, you can't adopt. If you can't adopt, you can't adapt. You can't grow. And if you can make it off of, and this is true fact, in 1920, do you know what the average income a year was for an adult? $3,269. How many of you can live off of $3,269 all year? Ain't nobody want to say nothing. Your hut costs over $1,000 a month. And by the time they take taxes, you probably got about $1,200 for the whole year. So now I'm going to ask you, I'm almost through. What you going to do with your life? You're going to sit up here and complain about what you don't have. You think you got enough. It don't nobody have enough, because your health could wipe out everything. And if you don't have good health, it's hard to have good wealth. So here's what I want to say to you. Anybody remember The End Game? Anybody watch the movie The End Game? I got a quote from the great Thanos. I think the topic this morning was think this way. This is what the great supervillain Thanos says: as long as there are those who are unable to accept what it was. There are some people that will not let your past go. They're not the one that's important. You're the one that's important. If you let your past go, you can move on. If you're still angry, you have not let your past go. If you're still mad about your race, you haven't let your past go. It doesn't mean that you've forgotten. You now are released from your past to build your present, to establish your future. He says, as long as there are those who are unable to accept what was. Some people can't get over tragedy. Some people can't get over loss. Some people can't get over failure. Some people can't get over hurt, rejection, denial. Some people can't get over I didn't win. Going to be a whole lot of people crying this afternoon when the game's over. A lot of people going to be done lost some money. Again, some of y'all been betting, hadn't you? I see. As long as you send the church some cash app, I might pray for you. Two people you don't want to owe: the pimp and the money launderer. Who is it? The shark. You don't want to own the loan shark. You don't want to owe them too. Prayer might not help you out when they come, because they tend to sneak up on you. You know. So really, Thanos said they will always hinder those who are trying to embrace. And so when I said I felt like I helped someone this morning, it's when they realize, as long as I fake it, I would never know when I make it. It's okay to fail. It's okay to have a rough, ugly season spot in your life. It's okay. Everybody say that with me, because we're ready to go home. 6 minutes. I don't want to be looking at y'all at 11:45. He gonna be asleep. Y'all might be asleep. Okay. Say this with me. What? Now y'all done made me forget what I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Okay, it's okay to have a bad. Come on, it's okay. Look at, she's stretching. He gonna be finished in a minute. I'm going home. I can get back in the bed, put my cornbread in the oven. My mama got the peas boiling in the pot. It's okay to have a rough patch in your life. I know some of y'all looking at me like, I ain't never heard a preacher say that. Because they tell you you're supposed to be perfect and Jesus is going to do all of. Well, he late if he is. Okay, I've been waiting a long time. When I was born 62 years ago, they said Jesus was coming. I don't know if he stopped at a party. I don't know. I don't know if he met some friends. I don't know if he's on the right. I'm going to have to call and check his GPS. I don't know. Okay? It's okay to have a bad season. It's okay to have made bad decisions. But it's not okay not to get up and build a better you. It's okay. It's okay you didn't get it right. It's okay to have a record, because everybody's record ain't clean. And just because their record ain't clean don't mean they didn't do nothing wrong. So don't act like you ain't never done nothing now. Because if they'd have had cameras back then, a whole lot of folk would not be where they are right now. Because, back then we had the nosy people in the cars. They even trade cars for somebody just to watch you. I see him at the store. You know what I would do? I can't do it on a bird. Tell him to catch a plane. Quit following me. Because I've had private investigators to follow me. And I know they follow me. Boy, you talking about take them down the road in that 1980 Z28. Turn off on the curve. Fly back up the road. They still going down the road. So you have people. It's okay. Because I'm not that super saint and try to tell you your life and world going to be perfect. I'm going to tell you don't quit in the fight. I don't care what you lost. Sometimes you lose your parents. You lose those that you love. You lose your spouse. But God has never given you an authorization to quit on yourself. As long as there's breath in your body, don't count your failures. Focus on staying up. So he says, they will always hinder. Your past will always. So you ever wonder why people come up in your past and how did, you know what I really want to say. Did they show up? They show up because you're going somewhere. And they want to make sure you don't get there. They want to make sure you don't get your life together because you have their life together. And sometimes it's your own family. It's your own family. Well, I remember when you stole that. There was a store up here. It's a little pink house. I was a kid. I stole it. Now, I couldn't chew it now. Do anybody remember Mary Jane? Them little hard pieces of candy. See, the old folk know about Mary Jane. Y'all know about lollipops and all that old crap. We had Mary Janes. You had good teeth if you could eat a Mary Jane. I don't even know what was Mary Jane's made out of. Good. So, they were hard. I stole 2 Mary Janes out the store. Do you know I was 25 and people were still trying to remind me that I stole some candy out the store? I said, yeah, I stole it. And if they was open, I might steal it again. But I've outgrown it. There are some things in life you have to outgrow. Okay? So don't let nobody tell you your story is over. Ask me why. You got the pen. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Some of y'all gave it to some other people. You were finally getting your life on track, and here come Big Lip Betty. Look at he grinning. He wide awake. He's like, sure, look, because every time she show up, she wear that skirt, man. Man, I can't see Jesus or work. Old folk would say, let that heifer alone and get to work. It's too cold to be outdoors. Everybody love you when you got heat. Don't focus on what you lost. Focus on what you can build. Men, see who you can be. Let me tell you, don't try to be like your daddy. Be you. Be the best version of you. Because a lot of men don't know what to teach you. My father's still alive. He taught me the best he could. Get a job. No. I went to work with one of my best friends. He's still my childhood friend now. And I told him, I said, Fat. I said, man, we were standing in the warehouse. And the hope in the warehouse was to work 20 years on night shift and hope to be a forklift driver on first shift. I told Fat 5 days into being in there, I said, Fat, this ain't for me. I'm cold. I got booger snot. My hands are froze. I said, man, I'm not staying here. No, 25 years till he die on the forklift. Can't do it. Oh, man, you want too much. I left. Daddy was mad at me because him done got me a job. Out at the warehouse, working in the cold. Our freezer started at 32 below with fans blowing. So how well did you think I felt? And my brother wasn't acquainted with liquor. Now, all my other friends were drinking liquor, so they could go in the freezer just basically butt naked. I could not go in the freezer. I was a church boy. Church boys didn't drink liquor. And so I told Fat, I said, I can't do this. And one morning I saw a Coca-Cola truck going down the road because we had to go in at 6:30 and get off whenever we finish. I said, man, I'm going to go and talk to them. And you know what? I left Winn-Dixie warehouse making $9.46 an hour. And I took a job making $4.95 an hour. Now, wasn't I smart? And when I left, I was getting bonuses of $300,000. If you won't take a risk on yourself, you will never discover yourself. I left what was, and I pursue what can be. And so can you. God bless you. Hold on. Hold on. Little Reggie about to come to the mic. Take my picture. I talked to my cousin, Al. So y'all hashtag Al Cohen. Because we're going to do bowling for the youth coming up. So I know Al used to bowl, and I used to bowl when I was in college. And so I told Al we're going to have a bowling night. I knew he would get him. Now, if I texted him something about Jesus, he wasn't going to respond. So I said, Al, I'm getting a bowling team. You going to bowl? He said, let me know when and where. So we going to do some bowling. So little Reggie going to put together a bowling team. So y'all get this picture right here and put me on some red, white, and blue. I need you to bowl with me because we going bowling. I ain't mad at nobody, and everybody that bowl with me don't have to be church people, okay? Because you can smoke your cigarettes and drink your liquor outdoors. Then you come on back in there and we gonna bowl, okay? Because this ain't about the saints, because the saints will be in there with their prayer cloth all on my head trying to bowl, praying on the oil, on the ball, and having a prayer meeting. I want some people I can talk to. We can eat some pizza, chew some chewing gum, and talk as real brothers and real sisters. Does that make sense? So I'm going to have a bowling. I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, and we're going to have bowling for the youth and for the teens, and then we're going to have adults. So I text my cousin Al, and so we are going to have bowling. So I want y'all to find a red, white, and blue and say, this is little Reggie. You got to bowl with me. All right? So I got my cousin Al, so we going to bowl because Al is gangster. He's still wearing slick suits. Al think he a player. I'm talking about your cousin Al. I know you're getting ready to go to church, but somebody text Al and tell Al, cuz talking about you down there. And to my cousin down there in Savannah, Georgia, with her boozy self, Deborah Garrison, come on up here and bowl, because little Reggie finna make it happen. I see y'all. Is she? You tell my cousin I love her. I love her because she one of my good cousins. And we get ready to bowl, y'all. Player. Got to get my groove. Deuce. Bye. She was online? Yeah, take a bowl, girl. Yeah, we don't need nobody out there with no